Greetings and welcome, faithful, to another episode of Let's Play Frostpunk. Alright. We're about to get another dose of cold. Camp Vulcan, ever the skeptic. You're going the wrong way! The scientists mistook us for refugees, but after we tell them about our city, they are nonplussed. It's probably too close to the storm to withstand it. Well, you might consult Nansen on that if you reach him in the south. Their work here is done. We could convince them to join us so they could show them our city. Alright, fine. We'll take more of the freeloaders. And you can head over to Camp Vulcan, which you should now be able to travel to quite fast. You are almost to your goal. Good. That'll help secure some more coal supplies. Alright, cookhouse with the automaton. And the faith keepers need to have their thing on. It irks me a bit that I can't get it straight. It's just not right. Does the pub need it? It kinda does. Alright, let's burn through our food supplies to get the infirmaries and all that working as hard as they can. We still have a road we can build up here. Well, one house at least. You know what? This one can go. Let's be as efficient as we can. I built some care houses over here that do need to be heated. Alright. You have arrived at the Deep Hollow, so you go to Camp Compass. You have arrived, built-in outpost. So you'll be supplying us with a little bit of extra coal for a bit, since I don't need the steel at the moment. Right, they've removed that building. Well, at least it's a few more houses. Alright, heater efficiency. Let's go with generator efficiency, and our coal is definitely in the plus now. And so far the storm is still nicely far away. Alright, resource-wise I kinda want to, let's see, that's a tech building, wasn't it? Let's get the factory back online. Just a little bit further out. Also, I want to check for a moment. The field kitchens, do they work? No, they do not work on the infirmaries. Pity. How about the shrines? Shrines do work. Do I already have a shrine? Doesn't look it. Alright, then a shrine here. And a shrine here.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Alright, you have arrived at the Camp Vulcan, go to the Jagged Rocks. That's number 1 scouts have returned. They can now be sent out again. Head for Camp Vulcan. It's more people to house that I really don't have room for. But we'll make do. We'll move the pub. The people living in this camp are packed and ready to go. All tents are empty. They're leaving almost nothing behind. A small group of scientists is finishing the loading of their supplies. They work efficiently, but in silence, looking somewhat dejected. We're mostly helping with the evacuations now, one of them tells us. We used to study the Earth's magnetic field, but there are more important things to worry about now, like surviving. Alright, let's get them back to the city. Alright. Now, the number here is a little bit deceptive. Because, of course, you do have to keep children and sort of that in mind. But it also adds up the number of automatons to the tally of the city. And that's not bad, per se, but it is a little bit misleading because it makes you think you have more people than you actually have. Which, when the final tally comes up at the end of the game, it confused me a couple of times. Because I thought, I have way more people than this. And then, oh no, right. Alright. Get a few more care houses. Sir, a man is here to see you. He says his daughter has run away after the news of the storm spread. He wants to borrow our scout sled and go after her. She's a big girl, but she was always very impulsive, and she scares easily, the father explains. I must find her before she's lost for good. She's all I have left. Well then, I'll equip you for the journey. Now bugger off and don't waste our supplies on anything else. Now, alright, the storm is still far away. You are at the Jagged Rocks. The surface looks like it's been fractured by the shock of an underground explosion. It appears there may have been an underground base here. Alright, ruins of the underground base reek of sulfur. It must have been a warm and sheltered place, but now exploring its depths is dangerous. Exploring the ruins, we found a briefcase signed by Nansen. It seems to contain some interesting blueprints. Let's take the technology. Right, so we now have house insulation, so I don't need to research that. I'll send you to Nansen's Stormwatch immediately. And you go to Camp Compass. You need to beat the storm. Right. Well, hope is pretty much capped out. Right.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
There comes the cold. we'll get one more boost of heat, but that's only going to bring us up to minus 60. No. Not gonna do it. I don't need to. Alright, generator efficiency has gone up. Don't really need any of that. Let's get the gathering post installation. That's most likely something we'll need, at least during the day. I mean, our coal supply is probably growing quite well. I mean, we get plenty of coal from places. Our housing conditions. Alright, so far so good. Alright, we have reached something. The sturdy building looks could withstand a severe Arctic winter. It's crammed with sophisticated scientific equipment, yet the camp seems to be abandoned. Nansen's warning. We found a note left by Nansen and his co-workers. The expected cold is hard to predict. It'll be way below any temperature ever recorded on Earth. Gale force 10, as the jet stream seems to abate on descent. Afterwards, the climate shall start improving slowly. We're moving towards this apocalyptic storm to confirm our predictions. Farewell. May God protect you. Well, we'll take the technology though. So now we have 2 bits of technology. An advanced coal mine, which is partially why I never bothered with the regular coal stuff. Alright, you go to the fortified hut now. And let's see. It's a sawmill. No, there's still trees in range. A couple of sick people. And just low on storage again. And I don't feel the need to expand, really. I will just increase our supply of prosthetics, though I feel that we might need it. Alright, now I should really remember to rebuild or build houses in that spot that I vacated expressly for that purpose. And you have arrived. Alright, so you can go to the ice caves. Alright. Guys have returned. Alright, you can now go over to the snow burrows. So where's the cold exactly? Right, this gathering post is chilly, and now it's not. Alright, so we know we got this. Alright, I'm gonna get the charcoal kiln. Right, numerous bodies lie on a cave floor. They must have run out of fuel for their stoves. By the dead bodies we have found many crates full of papers, a testimony of the extensive research dedicated to the fluctuations of the Earth's magnetic field. It's too heavy to understand by our scouts and too heavy to bring to the city. Carry on. Alright, well... pity. Start going towards this camp. We'll redirect as needed. Can I heat up the Faith Keepers with a field kitchen? No. But I can heat up the pub, apparently. Is the pub also affected by the shrine? It is not. Well, then it's not needed. Alright. With good efficiency going. Let's go through our supplies a bit. Give our cookhouses something to do. Alright. Urgent need for treatment. Captain, our people have gathered to protest. The number of untreated sick people keeps rising, but you seem to ignore the problem. They demand you take action. I promise the sick will be treated. I'm not ignoring the problem, it's just I don't have any means to deal with the problem. Alright, charcoal kill, I'll keep that in mind. Alright, let's get another care house. Alright, you've arrived. The fence that surrounds the Arctic hut has been destroyed, shattered, as a pack of wild animals went through it. An ill-fated project. Scientists who built this station designed it to withstand the Arctic climate, but they clearly underestimated the fierce Arctic fauna. The doors and windows have been bashed in by heavy blows, letting inside the cold and snow. Scientific and life support equipment froze and burst, dooming the base and its inhabitants. We'll take the technology though. Right, so that's the generator safety bypass, the advanced coal mine and the house insulation. There's nothing over here. Let's bring that back to the city. Because the storm is starting to get really close. We have 6 days left. I want to finish the scouting before that anything really starts to freeze. Right, you have arrived over there. Back to Camp Meteor. Let's turn the care house on. Right, I need people to work here. And let's see, do I need anything? Coal is still fine. The charcoal kilns are just a backup, just in case I feel I need it. Because I can put the automatons on that, so there's not much urgency otherwise. Right, people are getting sick constantly. I should really check that when people are actually working though. Camp Meteor. The camp is built around a large hole in the ice. It might be the impact crater of a meteorite. There's a block and a tackle attached to the top of the steel framework built over the hole. We searched the remains of the camp. This must have been some scientific operation dedicated to the research of whatever punched this hole in the ice. Now the place is deserted. There's nothing of value to be found here. Right. But we did find the shattered convoy and a large crater. So let's send our scouts out.
Time to get to work.
Alright. Child shelters. Yeah. That is a problem. I'm just gonna put down some more resource depots because the messages that I have to keep track of just a bit too annoying. Right. It's hard to judge the crater's size from the distance. Its vastness only becomes apparent up close. The camp is empty. The crater is fresh, with broken ice around the rim. We searched the camp for clues to the scientist's fate and found none. Everything is in order, but not in perfect order. It looks like they went out to do something and didn't return. Maybe they tried to descend into the crater and got lost in the maze of broken ice, or got caught in by the blizzard. Or both. I'll take the technology though. Nothing new here. And I think you can head back to the city now. They don't have any technology on them because I probably already researched the technology in question. Get the healthcare installation. It's the one last thing that really does still need heat. Scouts have returned with technology in tow. I'll wait until the shattered convoy is done. It shouldn't take too long. So we now can build advanced coal mines, if I had the steam cores. But I'm not going to bother. The convoy's vehicles have been damaged by heavy blows. The snow is trodden and stained with what seems like buckets of blood. Hungry polar bears. Inside damaged crawlers we found several dead bodies. Few of them are torn apart like they were partially eaten by some beasts. Polar bears, we think. We'll never know for sure what happened here. And there's nothing useful for us to salvage from this gruesome place. Let's go. And that's indeed the last of the things we can still do. So now we can disband. We don't need our scouts anymore. Alright, let's set up some more raw food storage. And I guess one more of regular food.
It's time off.
We still have 5 days. I'm just not gonna worry about anything. Let's just get the scouts back. And there it is. The first of the sites have been frozen. Now we still have some time before Tesla City gets hit. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, one more scout coming in. Hungry mother. Sir, a woman has come to plead with you. She wants more food rations, but the cooks say that she has already received her allowance. I beg you, Captain, the woman says in a trembling voice. Your men mean well, but they must have made a mistake. I need 2 rations, one for me and one for my sick child. I won't bend the rules. There's rules for a reason. Yeah, just pray the hunger away. There's quite literally nothing else I can do to raise the heat beyond, you know, raising the level of my thing. Alright, that's the last of the scouts. So, disband. Food theft causes riots. Sir, we've investigated the discrepancies between the raw food use and the output of the cookhouses. It turns out the cooks are stealing food. People are furious. We got 1 thieves. They say they want to secure their families before the storm shuts down the food supply. I get the Faith Keepers to supervise. We don't need to take drastic measures. I understand people in need.
Move! Time to get to work.
Right. Get some more food rations going. Alright, that should help. Alright. Let's go for the generator power upgrade. We did what we could to raise the heat output of the generator. This alone might not be enough. All our homes and workplaces should be as warm as possible. The cold that's coming could kill in minutes. Alright. Well, let's get the last of the thing going. And the stone ship has frozen. It is time. No more steam cores. And I may need some more infirmaries, but first let's double check. Alright, the coal balance is still good enough, but that'll have to do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.